Hi, I'm Catherine. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about a term that's been floating around for a few years now called body positivity. Why in a movement that's trying to put away stereotypes on size, height, weight, look, skin tone, race, all these things, if we're trying to put away those stereotypes, why is the body positivity movement focusing so much on physical appearance still? Don't matter what you look like.
Don't matter what you look like. Don't matter what you wear. How many rings you got on your finger. We don't care, no, we don't care.
Love me some Mama Odie. Found this TED Talk the other day and I was really inspired by it, and so I'm going to put it in the description box below so that you can go watch the whole thing, but I'm just going to share a couple of thoughts that the speaker mentioned and also my thoughts on these things. So this TED Talk was called Body Positivity or Obsession. I think the perception of body positivity can go in a couple of different directions. Usually how it manifests for me is I'll either be in this camp over here where I'm saying, oh, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna eat kale, and I'm gonna do the CrossFit thing, and I'm gonna, yeah. And then there's the other extreme of not caring about what I look like and look at myself in the mirror and feeling all snatched just because I woke up this morning. And those are the two extremes. A lot of times people sit around the middle and that's fine. The mantra and the motto, your body is beautiful, flaws and all, is not really working. It's really not an aspect of whether that it's true or not. I don't think that's what she was arguing. It's more like, is it working? Is it helping anyone making long-lasting lifestyle changes? So I want to read a quote. She says, "Girls and women aren't only suffering because of the unattainable ways beauty is being defined. They are suffering because they are being defined by beauty. They are bodies first and people second." Like it's saying that accepting what you look like on the outside and calling it beautiful somehow can help you be more actualized as a person on the inside, when really our measure of beauty should be what we accomplish in life, should be who we are as people, our personality. It's just like Rachel says in Batman Begins. It's not who you are on the inside, but what you do that matters. Something like that. How's it go?
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
So anyway, what she is saying is that the goal is that women would be viewed and valued as more than just bodies to view. She also makes a good point to say that it's not about believing our body looks good, but understanding and believing that our body is good. But representation, that is extremely important, because can I tell you, I did not grow up seeing curvy girls depicted as the desirable one in the movies. The curvy girl is always the one who is on the sideline. She's the best friend, unless the movie is about being overweight. And so what I'm trying to get at is representation is such a good thing because it shows young girls like, oh, I could do that. Especially with the rise of social media and YouTube. Like, I live in a third world country and I see little girls recording TikTok videos on the side of the roads. And so there are so many chances for girls to see someone who is like them represented in the media in a good way that makes them look at it and say, oh, I can be an astronaut, I can be a physicist, I can be an artist, I can be this, I can be this, I can be this, I can be this. So what are we we do? What do we do when this whole body positivity, focusing on our outward appearance and trying to like it isn't working? What do we do instead? The first thing we have to do is diagnose the problem. And what this video talks about is that we can have what is called body fixation, which results in self-objectification. Feels like a mental checklist that we're always putting ourselves under. I don't know what your mental checklist is, but mine is, am I standing up straight? Is my stomach sucked in? Am I making sure that my pants are high enough to where my muffin top doesn't come out? I'm always doing this with my shirt to make sure that this stomach roll or whatever isn't visible. I'm always doing like this with my eyebrows because my eyebrow hairs are really long, and I'm always making sure that my hair is nice and that I don't have a cowlick anywhere. Self-objectification is essentially monitoring yourself from an outsider's perspective, imagining what you look like in someone else's eyes. And something that she brought up that was really disturbing is that when girls fixate on their bodies like this, that they don't perform as well in school, in sports, in activities, in hobbies, in life. So it is holding us back in all aspects more than just our self-esteem. And so while it doesn't matter what you look like, it matters how much you care. Our bodies are instruments, not ornaments. What's the difference between an instrument and an ornament? An ornament is something you hang up and you just leave it there and you look at it and it looks nice and pretty. But an instrument, what's so amazing about acoustic instruments is that not two of them sound exactly the same. No two violins sound exactly the same. No two pianos sound exactly the same. And an instrument is something that you use to create something beautiful as music. Just as Dumbledore would say, music, a magic beyond all we do here. And they look beautiful too, but that's not the reason they exist. I definitely think that because you were created in the image of God, that you are beautiful no matter what you say or do or own in this lifetime. But I will say, it is scientifically proven that we are happier when we are active, when we have things to do to occupy our time. So if we don't want to be an ornament, we want to be an instrument, then maybe let's not focus so much on building body positivity, because that just makes us into a pretty ornament that just sits on a shelf all confident and stuff. We need to develop body image resilience. And so what Miss Lindsay, the lady in the TED Talk, defines body image resilience as is becoming stronger by learning through the pain of painful experience. And I think that there are all of these suggestions and these ideas that come from non-Christian platforms, and a lot of them are really, really good, and a lot of them have helped me a lot. But I think the thing that not only brings us lifelong happiness but joy on top of that, the thing that not only brings us contentment but also peace, is a relationship with Christ. That is the thing that sets it over the top from being something that we can learn to cope with and turns it into something that helps us to soar. Because there are so many times when I don't believe the things that I am telling myself. No matter how many times I look in the mirror and say, you are not valuable because of the way you look, but because you have this and this and this and this to offer the world, it still sometimes isn't enough, and it still sometimes leaves me feeling empty, and I need more. And that's where my relationship with God comes in, because no one is going to love you more than He is, not even yourself. No one is going to have a better idea on how to live your life than He is, because He created you and He knows you and He loves you. God says in Isaiah 43, I have called you by name, you are mine. Jeremiah 1 says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Jesus says in John 10:14, I am the good shepherd and I know my own, and they know me. In Hosea 1 it says, I cared for you in the wilderness. Think about the hardest lessons you've learned in your lives. Has it been through those times when you were walking through a field of daisies, or when you were walking through fire? There's a verse in the Bible where it talks about how we are being refined like gold, where you have to melt the gold down, get it so hot that the gold comes out by itself pure and extremely valuable. And that's the way that God goes with us. I don't know, man. Being comfortable in your own skin and being happy with where you are in life is always difficult. And it doesn't even have to be about what you look like. It can be about where you are in your job, where you are in school, and with this whole COVID-19 thing, it's probably thrown a lot of your plans for a loop, and so you don't really know what's going on. And some of the things that may have defined you as successful or as good enough or whatever has been lost. And so it's always going to be an uphill battle. And that's why we have a relationship with God. That's why it's not the kind of thing where when you accept Christ, he's just like, all right, you're good, you're going to heaven, check mark on your forehead, see you when you die. It's not like that. It is a walking relationship. We have the assurance, when you die, you're going to be with me in paradise. But then God continues to walk with us for the rest of our lives, helping us to look more like him, not only so that we can become better people ourselves, but so that we can share his light with others.
Well, we're out of time for today. Remember,
God made you special, and he loves you very much.
bye!
Thank you for watching this video. I'm glad, I hope you had a good time, 'cause I did.